Okay, my friends, he's expecting before he applies. You can see where he has his finger, and if you kind of look down, you can see where it's lifting up at. Reason why he's on the ladder and I'm not is, one, I have vertigo. Thank God it's not affecting my driving abilities yet. But I don't do well on the ladders either. So he's expecting to, I guess, figure out the best place to apply the silicone he wants to put on. And it looks like he might do the gorilla first. But he's going to use another paper towel to help. And hopefully, this will stop my leak for a year or two. Or longer. And he's putting Gorilla Glue, which I believe is a waterproof one, but it is a very good silicone. I've used it to patch holes in kayaks and paddleboards, more so kayaks, but as you see, he's getting it lined up pretty well in here, and he's gonna have to come up to where the passenger door is to get it in there. But he has to get it in that crack, as you see, and then let it dry, and hopefully, like I said, that will stop the water from seeping in and then leaking inside the car. And he's also getting it into a straighter line than I probably would have by myself. It looks like he's going to be doing both sides just for safety. And then he's going to have to do up here as well when he gets to it. But I'm going to step down, so I'm going to stop the video here so I'm not in his way when he gets closer. I will show you what it looks like when he is done. And as I've mentioned, he is using Gorilla Glue, or silicone, which is waterproof. And here's another one he's probably going to end up using. Just so you guys know. And that is what the Gorilla one looks like. In case you guys want to try it on your own. Go.
Okay, what we have here is a consistent leak of water in the back area. You open up the door and right underneath it leaks in.
And I showed you all that in my first video.
And we fixed up one hole, actual rust hole back here. And it seems like after they fixed up the rust hole, it even got worse. So we've been scratching our heads, and you have a black piece of trim or whatever, and I'm looking at this side, it's all lumpy, the other side's all smooth. And when I finally get up here, you can see rust underneath it.
And you can see more up on here where I showed you in the first video.
And since I don't have the money or capability to get the roof replaced or buy a new car, we're going to go cheap and use some silicone sealer and hopefully seal up the heck out of it all and give it a few more years of life. We'll see.
So with that said, obviously there's going to be a part 3. We're just waiting for it to dry a little bit more, like Ron said.
Yeah, you can open up and show where it's been leaking.
So we'll show you again where it's been leaking. Which
This section is wet. When I pull the piece down, there's water along the metal area, but trying to find where it's coming from has been crazy.
And to take it to a dealership that does body work, just for an estimate for them to look at it, to try to trace it, is $1,000. And then
Because they'd be taking the headliner off inside the car and tracing where it is, and it's just beyond our financial capability where we're living month to month.
yeah, we're basically, we're on fixed incomes. Ron's retired. I'm on a disability. So the money we both getting coming in throughout the month, we have to make that stretch out as best we could, which doesn't always work out.
That's for sure.
So, like I said, for the dealership or body shops to do what for them to do what they need to do to fix it correctly, it's $1,000 estimate, and then the price can go up from there.
After you put a new roof on it, if you can even find a roof that fits, that's about another $4,000 or $5,000 on top of that.
So
Is it really worth it? No, not.
Yeah. So, like he said, is it really worth it? If you got that kind of money to spend, yeah. We don't have that kind of money to spend, so we're trying to get a little bit more life out of it. So hopefully that works.
If I had that type of money to spend, sorry to interrupt you, I apologize.
That's okay.
We'd be getting another car.
Oh, he said he'll be getting me another car. I want a horse-sided camper.
If we had that type of money, disposable money, but we don't. So it's going to be silicone sealer, and hopefully that'll fix up the leak for another year or two until it rusts out even more underneath there, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so that's about where we're at right now. So stay tuned for part 3. Obviously, it's going to be a part 3. There might be a part 4 after this.
Which is you shooting the car.
Yeah. I want to do target practice, but when it comes to my vehicle and target practice and they're giving me issues, everybody takes my favorite toys away.
At least the car is paid for. It drives, has heating, air conditioning. Okay, so at least that's something. It beats walking.
Yeah, I mean it's a good running car. Now, like I said, it's a 2012 Jeep Grand Laredo. Now, as a lot of you, and it says 4x4. Now, a lot of you all know that do have 4x4s, okay, vehicles, whether it's a Jeep, pickup truck, or otherwise. You'll either have a secondary gear shift along here to put it in your 2 low or 4 high or whatever the case may be. This does not have that.
This is more of like an all-wheel drive.
And then you got a little thing up here that supposedly can shift. I don't know how well you can see that. But with that being said, it's an SUV, more of a all-wheel drive vehicle. Now, I have taken her, and Ron followed me a few times to make sure I didn't get stuck or whatever. I have taken her on some, what I call, easy to moderate off-roading.
It does okay in soft sand.
Yeah, and it's been okay in soft sand / sugar sand, Up here where Ron is in Ocala, Florida, he has more of that, I want to say, hard clay sand. Some areas are softer than others, but it's not like in South Florida. If anybody's familiar with J.W. Corbett, you know that's a lot of sugar sand. So the sand up here has that soft sand, but nothing like J.W. Corbett. It's a little bit more, I want to say, firmer. And I don't do the heavy off-roading like the regular Jeep Wranglers and Rubicons and Mohawk, can handle. Can she handle that? I don't know. I don't like pushing my limits. Okay? So I take her into very easy to light, moderate off-road, especially when I'm by myself. Now, I do keep some items in my vehicle in case I do get stuck. I have traction boards, that's what these things are, and then a tow rope, and then in this longer bag down here, I have a kinetic rope. Yeah, so that way, if God forbid I do get stuck, if I'm by myself, which will be a rarity, I can hopefully get myself unstuck. I do kind of keep a basic first aid kit with me. I do have a basic mechanics tools, other tools, in here to maybe help get me out of a situation. Maybe. It's a big maybe. But, it is what it is. So, yeah. So, like I said, I have taken her out easy, very easy to very light, moderate roads. And she has not gotten me or left me stranded yet. But like I said, she's not your traditional Jeep like your Wranglers or anything like that. But getting back to my leak situation, once he puts the silicone up there and it dries, I'll see how it goes. So stay tuned for part 3, possibly part 4. Bye. Okay, so it's not the prettiest. Now it's dry, so let's see if she leaks. Gotta wait and see if it rains, see what happens.